Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. I'm a freelance makeup artist with a passion for all things beauty. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. So I am catching up with the new releases in the last couple of months, and I was away when this was launched, but I am still going to be talking about these because I haven't had a chance to look at them. I am so excited to try them with you, and that is the new Hourglass launches. I picked up all three of the Ambient Edit powders, and these are the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palettes, and they come in these beautiful designs: the elephant one, the tiger one, and the butterfly one. I picked up all of these because I have been an Hourglass fan, as you probably know, for a number of years, and I love these palettes because what these palettes do is really give you the opportunity to try a little bit from Hourglass, but at the same time they are super good for traveling with, and I love taking them with me when I'm abroad or if I'm away because you have a little bit of everything in each palette. I thought this was such a clever idea when I saw these, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on them. This is illustrated by someone called Katie Scott, and I believe that the proceeds for these are going to an animal charity as well. So this is called Unlock Change, Protect Animal Rights. 5% of profits from Unlocked support the Non-Human Rights Project in their effort to secure fundamental rights for animals. Well, this is by a London-based illustrator called Katie Scott, and she has designed each of these. I was contemplating splitting this video into three, but I think based on the fact that I've got so much content that I'd like to film, I didn't want to space it out. I did that with the recent Chanel launch with the Tweed collection, purely because you can create 4 separate looks, and although you can create 3 separate looks with these, I'm gonna sort of split my video up so that it's one whole video, and then you can skip to the palette that you'd like to see. I'm going to show you some swatches, show you a look that I'm going to demonstrate with them, and then I'm also going to give you my final thoughts at the end of the video. So I really hope you like this. I am so excited to try these. I've been waiting to try these. Unfortunately, I was away, but I'm catching up, so please bear with me as I film all the content that I'd love to film for you. So I'm going to start off with the palette that appealed to me the most. It had tones that I don't usually see with Hourglass. I wanted to kind of show you how it looks on my skin. This one leans towards the more sort of warmer side, and there's an orange in there I think as well in the palette. So there are 6 colours in here. I'm going to open it up for you now. This retails for £78 in the UK. So this is what the palette looks like, and I think you'll agree that it's absolutely stunning. You can see the tiger design that runs across, and then you've got H for Hourglass in the middle. I just think this is beautiful. This is actually sort of like a tin material or metal material. As you open it up, these are the colours. And this was the one that I was drawn to most, purely because I hadn't seen this colour in particular in a Hourglass palette. These are kind of leaning towards the warmer side, so if you are a medium skin tone, I think this is going to look gorgeous on you. If you are fairer, then maybe the elephant or butterfly might be better. I'm going to show you how this swatches, and then we're going to do a look together. Everything you need, it says here, to diffuse, enhance and add glow in a single compact. Limited edition packaging by artist Katie Scott. Formulated with photoluminescent technology to diffuse surrounding light for skin that appears lit from within. Powers apply seamlessly with a double-ended ambient lighting edit brush, vegan and cruelty-free. And it says packaging note: to reduce our use of virgin plastic, the packaging is consciously crafted from 100% tin. This £6 includes 2 best-selling finishing powder shades, along with 4 brand new shades of bronzer, blush and highlighter to diffuse, enhance and add glow to the complexion. Utilising our groundbreaking photoluminescent technology, the powders filter out harsh light and enhance skin in any type of light, including flash photography. The shades can be used individually or layered together for a multi-dimensional soft glow finish. So these are the shades. There's the permanent shade, which is Ambient Lighting Powder, Transcendent Light Warm Sienna. There's the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Powder, new Brilliant Glow Strobe Light in Translucent Peach Highlighter. Ambient Lighting Blush New Burnished Glow in Warm Coral. Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Powder New Divine Strobe Light True Gold. Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Powder New Copper Flash Strobe Light Copper Shine. The Ambient Lighting Blush in Iridescent Rose, Warm in Medium Rose. It's a 12-month shelf life and it's made in Italy. These go beyond 12 months. I mean, I've been using mine for ages before I hit pan, so yeah, these last for a long time. They're fantastic. So what I thought we could do is swatch each of these first before I do a look. We're going to start with the first colour from here and we're going to go down and then we're going to go this way. So we'll start off with the first colour. Then the strobe colour. Then the blush colour. Wow. Then we're going to go on to the two strobe colours. Then we're going to go on to this final colour here, which is the blush. So there are all of the 6 shades. So there is a lot to explore. I don't think I can use this colour as a sort of overall colour, so I might use that as a eyeshadow. There are lots of various ways you can use this. Then I'm going to try that blush because I'm so excited about that colour. Let's try that first. So we'll take that shade now and use that as a eyeshadow. Oh, that's nice. It's very pigmented. Wow. It's a lovely colour. And I've kind of sheared it out a bit, but you saw the impact when I first put it on. I mean, you can build on it and get it a little bit more intense. What I love about this Hourglass palette is you get this huge mirror as well, which makes it a lot easier to see what you're doing. So I do love that. I'm just going in and I'm just gonna give it a bit more pizzazz. That's really pretty. So what I've done is I've taken number 1, which is the finishing powder in Transcendent Light. I've used that as an eyeshadow base because the colour is a little bit more deeper than my skin tone. And then I've taken the number 3 blush, which is in Burnished Glow, which is that orangey sort of colour. It's funny because I recently bought the Benefit blush in Butterfly, and this gives me butterfly vibes. It is very similar, but I'm glad that I picked this palette up because I can see that I can use quite a few colours in here when I'm out and about. So I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to the top of my cheekbone. So I'm just going to go into this sort of more rosy highlight, which is number 5, because I'm quite intrigued to see how this is going to look. That's nice. I've just layered that on top and it's added an extra sort of like glow. I might add a little bit of these 2 strobe colours together, which is number 2 and number 4. The reason I wanted to play with these 2 colours is I think it would just add a little bit of something and it'd be like layering. That's lovely, really pretty. Since I'm not going to show you this as a blusher, I'm going to use it on the sort of crease of my eye, and I'm just going to add that in to give it that little bit of something extra. That's really pretty. I'm just going to go back into the number 1 again and just put that sort of under my eyes. And then I'm going to add this colour here as an inner corner highlight. Oh, that's really, really pretty. So I've just gone off camera and I've added some eyeliner, some mascara, and I just wanted to show you what I'm going to put on my lips now. This is the new Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tint in Je T'aime, and I thought this would look really nice with this look because it's quite a warm look, and I think the colour will go really, really nicely. It's kind of like this gorgeous red colour. I'm going to show you how this looks. So, as with all Victoria Beckham's Bitten Lip Tints, it comes in this beautiful glass container. So I thought I'd just show you the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tint in Je T'aime. And this is the hand swatch of Je T'aime. Beautiful. And I thought this red would look really nice. This look reminds me of like a summer look when you've got that kind of gorgeous orangey red lip. So let's see how this looks. Ooh, I knew this would go really well together. This is probably one of my favourite Bitten lip colours. She's brought out quite a few and I've purchased quite a few, but there's something about this one that just seems to light up my face and at the same time complements this warm look from this palette. So I'm so pleased I picked this up. So this is a Victoria Beckham lip tint in Je T'aime. It's one of her newer colours, and looking at this, I think it goes so beautifully with this palette. That's just using one dip. I haven't gone in again for a second layer, but we can do that now. Oh, I do really like this. I think this is a beautiful lip colour. With this palette, it's just got that warm feeling, that sort of feeling where this is quite sort of giving me sort of summer vibes, but obviously we're moving into autumn, winter now. I still really, really love this. So this is the Tiger palette, and I've used all the colours in there just to demonstrate how you can use them. Now, like I said, you can use this palette any way you like. There are two blushes in here. You have this gorgeous colour here, and then you have this sort of rosy colour here, and you can really play with this palette. And like I said, you can use that as an eyeshadow if you're medium skin tone like myself, and then use those highlighters to play around with and see what works. So that really pops. So an inner corner eye with that one I'd recommend on your brow bone and the sort of Cupid's bow. This one is gorgeous mixed in with this colour, and then just seeing how that looks. And then you can just add that as a topper because it's got a bit more white in it. So yeah, just a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Okay, so that is the finished look. I haven't gone overboard because I really just wanted to demonstrate how this palette worked, and I'm so, so pleased that this works with the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tint in Je T'aime. So if you do want to pair it up with something, I would definitely recommend that. That's really, really good. Or if you have like a orangey red lip, perfect. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the Tiger palette. If you are of medium skin tone or darker, I think this is going to look gorgeous on your skin tone. The colours are very pigmented, as you saw when I swatched them, and you can use them as an eyeshadow, you can use them as a overall colour, which I've done, playing around with the different highlighters. I just really, really adore this palette. I'm so glad that I picked this up. I am really looking forward to trying the other two now. But so far, this is probably my favourite out of the three. I may change my mind as I go through, but this is the Tiger palette. So we are now moving on to the next palette. This palette is called Elephant, and I will show you what Elephant looks like and we'll go through the colours together. So this is the packaging for Elephant, and you know, I think there are brands that really make the effort when it comes to packaging. I would say Hourglass is one of them, along with Chantecaille. I think they impress me most when it comes to conservation. They inspire me when I see the packaging, and this certainly does. These are all the shades for Elephant, and again, this is going to look gorgeous on most skin tones, purely because you've got these gorgeous sort of darker shades and these pink fuchsia. I mean, these shades are gorgeous, that more lighter pink. And then I think you've got dim light in there as well, which is my sort of go-to. That's the finishing powder there, which is just like an all-over glow. So I think these colours are absolutely gorgeous. I've definitely used the dim light powder, and it's my go-to powder. It's fantastic. But yes, these are the colours. So we have all the colours here, and we're just going to do a swatch now of each of them. So these are the arm swatches for Elephant. So this is dim light, number 1. Number 2 is soft light. Number 3 is metallic strobe powder, beaming strobe light. So these two were finishing powders. Number 4 is the bronzer in lustrous bronze light. Then you have blush iridescent coral, and then blush radiant rose. So let's do a look together now. So what I thought I'd do was just double up and use the bronzer here as an eyeshadow and a bronzer. So we're going to go in with my eyeshadow brush into that colour here. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to use that as a bronzer. And then I'm going to take the blush. So I'm going to try this lighter blush, which is iridescent coral. Let's just see how this looks first. Oh, that's cute. So iridescent coral is described here as a blush, but actually it does have elements of a kind of high shine to it, which to me makes me think it could be good for like a highlighter. So I will put this on first. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the deeper colour. And this deeper colour is called Radiant Rose, which is a new colour as well. And actually layered together, they work beautifully together. It's giving me a really sort of fresh vibe. I really like this. And then I'm going to take these two colours, which are like finishing powders, just here and here, 1 and 2. And what I'm going to do is combine the colours together, because one is quite fair and one is a little bit more darker. And I'm just going to put it on my T-zone. If you want to, you could even take that lighter shade here and put that under your eyes if you've got concealer or anything else on. So I might just put that under my eyes. I'll use a smaller brush and just use it to kind of lighten the area a tad. I'm going to use this colour here, which is the metallic strobe powder in Beaming Strobe Light, and I am going to use that as a highlighter. I'm going to put that on the inner corners of the eyes, just on the brow bone and on the Cupid's bow. And even I might just go a tad just here and here. I'm going to use my smaller brush just to give a little bit more light up here. Very, very pretty. Okay, so this is the finished look for the Elephant palette, and this is probably my go-to Hourglass look when I'm doing an Hourglass look just because I find that these are the kind of colours they tend to do in their palettes. This reminds me a little bit of the, there was 2 palettes that were released that I did a review on. I will put it down below, where one palette was slightly darker, and this reminds me of the darker palette purely because of those 2 pink shades. But it is such a gorgeous sort of everyday look that you can wear, and it just makes you look fresh, and it is just really, really gorgeous. What I've done is I've added some mascara, but I've also added the Gucci lip colour that I did a review on, which was They Met in Argentina, which was the limited edition shade. And the reason I added that is because it's quite light and it's quite delicate, and it kind of goes with this look. Just wanted to show you this. So this is the Elephant palette. So we move on to the final palette. This final palette is called Butterfly, and I have a huge affiliation with butterflies because one of my favourite singers, Mariah Carey, has butterflies everywhere, and I love what it symbolises. I love the song Butterfly. I really am hoping this is going to be a beautiful palette. So far I am really, really impressed. So let's move on. So this is the palette Butterfly. So can you see the beauty of the Butterfly palette? It has the H in the center, and these are the shades, and oh, I mean, each of them are beautiful, but this one is so lovely with these colors here. Stunning. These are going to be quite fair for me, but we'll try and make it work. But oh, I just love definitely these 4. We start off with the first one, which is Ethereal Light, which is this one. That's a finishing powder. Number 2 is a strobe powder, that's Incandescent Light. Number 3 is a blush, and that's Soft Flush, which is here. Number 4 is a finishing powder, which is Diffused Light. Number 5 is blush, Sunset Glow. And number 6 is a metallic strobe powder, Celestial Strobe Light. Beautiful. So we're just going to do some swatches now. So we'll start off with this one, across here, then across here. So these are the swatches for Butterfly. So the first thing I noticed about this palette is there isn't a bronzer. So this is a palette that I probably would use more around sort of autumn, winter, purely because I don't tend to use bronzers as much during that time of year. But it doesn't mean that I can't carry a separate bronzer if I wanted to and use that later in the year or earlier in the year. I've actually used Diffused Light, which is the 4th one here. I've used this one from another sort of palette, so I'm really used to using this as an under eye colour. And then I am really excited to try this highlighter shade in the corner here, which is like a strobe powder, and the new blushes, which are very, very exciting to me. There isn't a colour that I can use on my eye. I might take this shade here, which is this darker colour here, and use that as a shadow instead. Just a little bit of fun. So I'm just going to take my eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to tap into that colour. I am going to take this new colour here and use that as a blush. I think this one's called Soft Blush. I'm going to take the Diffused Light colour here and just highlight under the eyes. Just put a bit of brightness under there with that powder. That light colour is going to be far too light, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 2 colours on the edge here and just tap a bit and just put a tad on the T-zone so that it's just a little bit lighter. And I'm going to go into that shade number 5, which is the Sunset Glow blush, and I'm going to put that on my cheek just to deepen the blush and make it almost like a bronzer blush, if that makes sense. Then I'm just going to take this colour here, which is this metallic strobe powder in Celestial Strobe Light, and I'm just going to put that on the tops of my cheeks just to add some highlight. I love this strobe formulation. It's really natural, but yeah, it has a lovely glow to it. And then I am going to take a little bit of that same colour, which is here, this lovely strobe colour at the end. I'm going to use that colour and I'm going to just put it on the inner corner of my eyes and on the brow bone and on the Cupid's bow. Okay, so I've just gone off camera. I've added the Victoria Beckham lip colour that I used with the first palette because I felt like it needed a deeper colour for the lip, and I just thought let's just try it with this palette. This is the finished look for Butterfly and I do really like it. So I do really like this palette as well. I like the 2 blushes they've included in this palette because they don't have that already and they're nice and deep and you can build with the blushes, and I love this highlighter shade. It's really pretty on my skin tone, and I love the fact that you can just play around. Disappointed that there's no sort of bronzer in this palette, so it's more of a finishing powder, but I think that will take me from autumn to winter because I don't tend to wear a lot of bronzer during this time of year. This is the finished look of the 3rd palette, and this one is Butterfly. So I'm just going to give you my final thoughts on this collection. I really love the variety in each of these palettes. They all have something different to offer, and that's probably why I picked up each of them, because not only am I a huge Hourglass collector of their makeup, but it's more the fact that there's a lot of choice, and a lot of choice for more medium to perhaps darker skin tone. So I think Hourglass are getting better when it comes to representation, but I still think that there still needs to be more darker shades, especially in the blushes. I feel like brands like Tom Ford really get the kind of pigmentation and the sort of tone that's needed for a darker skin tone. I think sometimes Hourglass palettes are more geared towards fairer skinned people, so what happens is that you feel like you have to make something work, or you have to get another colour from another palette to complement the palette that you might have. Overall, I love all 3. I think to rank them it's quite hard because they're all quite different. I'd say that my gut initial feeling was I really loved the Tiger palette and the shades that were in there, but they are leaning towards much more of a summer vibe. I think that the Elephant palette really surprised me. It wasn't what I expected, in the sense that I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but actually I really did like it. The Butterfly palette is really pretty for that kind of autumn winter vibe. It would be between Tiger and Elephant as my favourite, and then I think Butterfly would come after. I do like this palette, but I think they're the ones that I was drawn to initially, and Elephant surprised me, so that's why it's kind of quite hard to choose between Elephant and Tiger. But to be honest, you can't go wrong with any of these. I really hope that this video has helped you to see how it would appear on your skin tone if you are of a similar skin tone to me. I've really enjoyed this, and I really hope you've enjoyed coming along the ride with me and trying this out for the first time. I'd love to hear your comments. Have you picked up any of these? Are you going to be picking these up for the holiday season? I'd love to know. Please don't forget to leave your comments, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.